Welcome to today's dialogue. It's Sunday. It's been a hectic week. Been busy reinventing, redoing, finding new things. It's an interesting life. And what we have to realize about life is the friends that we surround ourselves with matter. They are the people that are going to influence you the most. They're with you most of the time in your free time when you want to associate. So, friends really matter. And when we are young, we develop these friendships, and sometimes they're not the best of friendships. So, we have to study and learn and understand what we want to do with our life. And if the people that are around us are really going to be friend or foe to your life goals. It's hard to find people anymore that want to back you for what you do. Those are the types of people that you need to surround yourself with. Take it from myself. I have been cleaning house on friends, family, and things in my life. Those three things are what define you. They are what builds you. It gives the picture to society what you are. So as I'm progressing in age, I'm starting to understand these things that I never really cared about too much in my younger days, because I like to give everybody a shot. And I still do. It's the amount of time that you give that ground to be fertile. That's the key when we surround ourselves with people and those that want to call themselves our friends. So a friend is easy to just say, yeah, he's my friend. But what is a friend? A friend is somebody that is there for you. They back you, they encourage you, they give you advice, and they tell you up front if there's a problem and you should be checking yourself or what you are doing. That's a good friend, somebody that cares enough for you to say, hey, that's not really sounding right. That's not looking right. That's not feeling right. So it's important to be able to take that feedback and use it to your advantage. So surround yourselves with friends that care enough to be critical of what you are doing, because it matters. Anything that we do in life, there's always consequence. So I love people. I fill my time with trying to find ways to advance myself and others. And I find it easier to advance myself through the advancement of others. So that's what I'm working on in my life right now, is I'm trying to dedicate my time and the focus on reinventing my friendships, understanding the type of friendship I want, and valuing myself enough to care to say, hey, I've got to change this. a lot of people will not be critical of themselves and find the desire and the will to check themselves. A lot of your young people are in this selfie mode, the iPhone generation. And I think we're lacking understanding and connections that are most important. And when we cannot connect to the people older than us or younger than us, there's a social disconnect going on. And if we don't get a grip on that, that gap is only going to widen. And then it's going to be even harder to bring the groups back together. So it's important to be a bridge to age, gender inequalities. You know, that's the purpose of a good person, is to identify where there needs to be a bridge and start making progress towards construction of a bridge. We talked about planting a seed doesn't bear fruit for a long time until harvest. So planting a seed and then watching it grow is sometimes the best thing, because you get to watch the beauty of growth. And when you stop growing, know that that's about it for you, because life is about growth, and growth means you're understanding the shift around you. Everything is happening at a pace that is beyond recognition of myself, because I'm usually a slower paced guy. I like the country life, and I see the world speeding up where people are missing the little things. And those little things are what brings you the most joy in life. Like sitting down in a park and just looking at nature, a simple leaf falling off of a tree in autumn, and watching that leaf float tenderly down to the ground with grace. I mean, it's a beauty within itself if you can identify the simple beauties in the world. Why doesn't that leaf just fall like a rock to the ground? You know, study what's going on around you. Identify the little things. Have you ever just watched a bug and see how the bug moves? It's interesting. And a lot of us doesn't take time to study those little things in the world around us. And that's because friends, they don't encourage you properly. You don't find friends that have the same interest, or maybe you've grown out of your friends. And that happens a lot. See, with myself, I used to be a totally different person, and yet I'm on a path of growth and identifying who and what I want to truly be, and understanding to be that, you have to reach for it and you have to take it. So in order to do that, the first step is identifying everything that's wrong in your life and either changing it or eliminating it. And that's the hardest part in change. So when we can identify and organize and restructure our lives, it's kind of cool. It's a new experience. When you get older, you have to do these things. And a lot of my family and friends are not on the same page with me in life. And I don't hold resentments on that. I just hope that they find growth and the need and the want to change who they are, because I identified there's issues and problems, and I know there needs to be change. So those incremental changes that I have implemented in my life has created a divide. So I find myself really without friends and very little family. But I'm a happier individual because I know I'm on the right track. I want to do right. I want to help people. I don't want to hinder people. I don't want to take from people. I don't want to take advantage. I want to give advantage. I've lived in a place where I've seen so many people take advantage. It makes you sick when you see it. And if it doesn't, well, maybe that's where you're supposed to be. So, who we surround ourselves with and what we really want to do with our lives matter. And making that shift, making that change is hard because you're dealing with both sides now. You're trying to fit in on one side where you want to be, and they're still seeing a different picture because you have not refined yourself enough yet to be socially acceptable in that circle. But yet the other side has seen a shift where you're calling them out. So there's this bonding that has been lost on one side and a need for bonding on the other side, but yet it's the most harsh time that people can go through besides youth. Being young is hard to do, but changing those connections that you have made in your youth because of all of those youthful ways, it's time to come out of that sometimes, and you find the will, you find a way, and you make it happen. So sometimes you got to change friends to make it happen. Sometimes you have to be hard and stern with family members and hope for the best out of it. It's just family is one of the hardest things to deal with because you love them so much. But yet you have to set boundaries for you, identify where you want to go, and structure and organize so you can get there. Anyway, friends matter. Pick them right. Go out there and keep trying to make connections. Somewhere, somehow, some way, you'll find the right connections. You'll reconnect and make sure you do it properly. Make sure you're finding the right people. The people thriving to change the world. That's important. If you want change, do something about it. Change it. Help your fellow man out and don't judge them. Everybody's unique and everybody's special. They've got a talent and they've got their own drive, their own ambitions. A true friend supports them in that, even if we don't understand it. So educate yourself on what your friend's doing, because that connection is what makes life spontaneous. It makes it exciting and it makes it worth living. But if you've got negative friends doing negative things and you want to change, go find positive people doing positive things. That's how you change not only yourself, but the world. I'm living proof it can be done with the will to do it. There are good people in the world. Go find them. Ed, Free Circle, out.